Johansson. Novak. Novak, come in. Great. That's just great. It's the engineer's hibernation chamber. Looks like poor Johansson didn't make it. I should have a second look at him after I manage to open the chamber from the medical room. It's too dark up there. I wouldn't see a thing.
Novak to Pal. Come in.
Finally. This is Pal. I read you.
Listen. I'm injured. It's really bad.
What is it?
Man, it's bad. Just get to the cockpit as fast as you can.
Okay. Hang in there. I'll be there in a minute. It's stuck. The computer must... It controls the door. The hydraulics are under pressure. If I could release them somehow... It's empty. The panel doesn't have power. The door is held firmly closed by the hydraulics. It's too dark there. I wouldn't see it. It's too dark up there. I wouldn't see a thing.
너무 어둡다.
It's the tube that supplies... It's the engineer...
렌치.
I can't use that to force it...
깨버리네.
Wow, that does look nasty.
Right. Listen. We need to get this rod out. The suit's medtech has sealed my wounds, so I'm alright for now. But you will have to patch up the holes in the suit after you've removed the rod. You'll need some glue for that, I guess.
I think we might have something in the cargo bay.
Hurry up, alright? And everything shut down after the crash. So I ran it. Tried to get the power back online and reboot the mainframe.
I'll get on it.
I'll monitor your progress on helmet cam. Radio me when you need help.
Thanks, Novak.
That's still captain to you.
Yeah, make me say it.
Just get to work.
Both consoles blew up. First Novak's, then mine. I should operate the other screen. There's a small crack behind that bulkhead. I don't want to pull the rod out before I find something to seal the suit with.
Get that screwdriver. You might need it later.
스크류드라이버라.
It's the tube that... The door is held firm. The panel doesn't have power. I need some... It's too dark up there. It's too dark there. I've unscrewed the tube. There's an Looks like the hibernation chamber is leaking fluid. I'll have to check back here later to figure out what's wrong with the system. There's no terrain data. It's too dark there. Looks like the hibernation chamber is leaking fluid. I'll have to check back here later to figure out what's wrong with the system. This control panel seems to... That won't open it. I can just pick that up, I think. I don't want to unscrew that. It's a small fracture on the ship's hull. That won't seal the hull breach. That won't seal the hull breach. It's an endless desert. Why do spaceships always crash? I should go closer. I could break it. I could break it. I could break it. The touch panel has no power. That won't do any good. That won't do any good. It's a small fracture. That's not gonna seal the suit. I don't want to pull the rod out before I find something to...
In order to get into engineering, you will need to supply the control panel next to the door with power. In order to get into engineering, you will need to supply the control panel next to the door with power.
컨트롤 패널.
That won't do any good. I could break... I need to use something with power in it. That won't open it. That won't open it. I can just pick that up, I think. I wouldn't do that.
In order to get into engineering, you will need to supply the control panel next to the door with power.
컨트롤 패널.
In order to get into engineering, you will need to supply the control panel next to the door with power.
That won't do any good. That won't seal the hole. The console is beyond repair. We'll have to find another way to pilot the ship. The console is beyond repair. We'll have to find another way to pilot the ship.
In order to get into engineering, you will need to supply the control panel next to the door with power. In order to get into engineering, you will need to supply the control panel next to the door with power.
잘못하고 있는 건가?
could break it. That won't do any good. I don't want to put that there. That won't do any good. It's the engineer's hibernation chamber. Looks like poor Johansson didn't make it. I should have a second look. Looks like the hibernation chamber is leaking fluid. I wouldn't do that.
다 해봐야지 뭐.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I can just pick that up. I can just pick that up. I can just pick that up, I think. That won't open it. That won't open it. That won't open it.
뭔가 놓치고 있는 것 같긴 한데.
That doesn't need screwing. I don't want to unscrew that. That doesn't need screwing. That doesn't need the power. I don't want to unscrew that. That doesn't need screwing. That doesn't need the power contained in the batteries of the doll.
아.
There, I've tightened the screws. Wait, that should have turned off the... The ship has very little... Several... The right engine is shot to hell. Johansson... That's not gonna seal the suit. That's not gonna seal the suit. I can't use that. That doesn't need screw. I don't want to unscrew that.
그건가? 중간 흘러나온 거.
I wouldn't do that.
Maybe a good smack on the top of the power conveyor box in engineering will help.
It's too dark up there. I've screwed the panel back on. The safety switch is still on, and the conduit is making crackling noises like a...
Initiating bootstrap of mainframe. Warning, main reactor offline. Currently operating on auxiliary power.
Finally. Nice job, pal. Computer, determine cause of course deviation.
Course compromised due to an extreme gravitational anomaly.
Specify source of anomaly.
Shockwave regression analysis places source of anomaly on the second planet of a Beta Cygni system.
Specify our current location.
Beta Cygni 2.
Wow, we're on Dead Rock? The Dead Rock?
Looks like it, yeah.
Well, that's just fantastic. Of all the inescapable places in the galaxy, we had to end up here.
I admit, it sounds pretty bad.
No, this is way worse than bad. We're on the one planet that no one's ever returned from. Even the UN has declared this place off limits.
Well, you're right, but there's nothing we can do about it now. Computer, damage report.
Main reactor offline. Engine 1 and 3 offline. Hibernation chambers 1 and 2 offline. Hibernation chamber 3 non-functional. Hull breaches detected in cockpit. Medical room and cargo bay. Carbon dioxide concentration in ship exceeding toxic levels.
Wow, that's all?
It's not as bad as it sounds.
Yes, it is.
No, listen. We might have a chance to get out of here after all. We still have one engine intact, and the thrusters seem to be working too. But you need to see what's wrong with the hibernation system and seal those breaches. Go and check the CO2 filter in the med room. It hurts like hell when I try to move, so I'll just stay here. But I'm trying to scan the planet's surface for life signs.
There's a syringe in...
실린지를.
This is where I found the syringe. It's supposed to be an examining tech. It's circulating the air, and
Opening hibernation chamber 3.
I should present it. I can see something inside the drain, but I can't reach it with my fingers. It's too deep down. The syringe can't reach whatever's down there. I need to figure out some other... The screwdriver isn't long enough to pick... I don't want to put that there. That's no use. I don't want to put that there. I'll need a larger sample.
뭐야?
The containers are blocking the way to the back of the cargo bay. It's full of... No use climbing it. The upper walkway is blocked as well.
Analyzing sample. Please stand by. No living